All right, greetings, good people of New Mexico. This is Jerry Rose again, and I just want to present to you the Empower the People system. And this system is designed to work in conjunction with the Rep the People system, okay? Now, the Rep the People system is all about locking down our government, taking it out of the hands of the wealthy elite who don't really care about your prosperity. They don't care about your rights. They don't care about your freedom. All they care really about is their money, right? Making more money. So once we do take away the power from the lobbyists and special interest groups, and there are candidates, good candidates around the nation, who begin to run on this platform that I'm presenting to you, my campaign's platform. Once they start to get elected and win, because they will, how do we then propose legislation? Well, this is the system that I'm proposing, okay? So let's go ahead and get into this. I'll run you through the overview of this presentation. All right, first, we're going to discuss the power of the federal Constitution and how much power you do have at the local level, okay, and at the state level. Then I'm going to explain to you how this system is going to divide people. But it's also going to unify the people that I need to win, okay, and the people you need to win. And then I'm going to give you the vision, okay, and how we're going to progress towards realizing the dream of our republic. And then we'll just do an overall summary again, okay? All right, so let's discuss the power of the federal Constitution. So one question, again, going back to the Rep the People system, the question is, how do we lock down the government? Well, it's easy. You have representatives who run on this platform, okay, and promising the people to set up a system, particularly the senators who get $3 to $6 million a year in SOP/OEA funds to perform their representative duties for their states. And the Rep the People system is not only going to be for federal level issues, it's not only going to be for the Senate, it's going to be for the House, and it's also going to be for your state House and your state Senate. And even we can even go down to the local city council level if you so desire. We can do that, okay? And what this will do is it will hold all your elected officials in the legislatures accountable to the will of the people. You're going to see whether they really are serving you or somebody else. And when you see that they're serving somebody else, you know what you're going to do? You're probably going to run yourself on the promise to use these legislative surveys that I'm proposing. This Rep the People system. And you're just going to do what the people tell you to do because you're their representative. You're going to do exactly what they say on every single legislative agenda at whatever echelon of government you may happen to be at. Okay? I'm telling you, people, you need to get on board with this, or you're going to get left behind. And this is unstoppable, people. You're not going to stop this, okay? And the people who do want to stop this, don't worry about them, because there are more of us than there are of them. Trust me on that. All right? So that's the Rep the People system. And if you look at this picture here, okay, this is how it really is. So CNN and Fox News, they want you to see it like, oh, red and blue and, all that and a mixture of some. No, it's not that way at all. And even if it was that way, you realize there's only two opinions represented in Congress today. There should be, how many House seats do we have? 435? Something like that? 435 unique opinions represented in the House. And I would say 50, 2 senators per state. And I think that the 2 senators of the same state should be able to come to an agreement on an agreed opinion thus representing their state. I mean, if they know what they're doing, they should do that. But that's not right, people. You should have more than two options. All of you should be working together in your locality and participating in our republic with your own thoughts, with your own ideas, okay? But how is it really? It's not even a battle between two opinions. You know what it's a battle between? It's a battle between corporations like ExxonMobil, Goldman Sachs, all these people, deciding whose turn is it to pass laws so that they can take away your rights, take away your opportunity to thrive and succeed in order to turn you into cattle, into slaves to their corporations, so that they can continue making money off of you, and more money and more money off of you, while you get poorer and while you become less free. That's how it really is. And how should it be? Exactly like it says. We the people of 28 states say yay or nay, and the people of 22 states, or however many, say yay or nay. It should be up to the people, because we should have a government that is of the people, or by the people, of the people, and for the people. But it's not working for you right now. I'm telling you it's not. It's working for them. It's working for the rich and the wealthy. It's working for those people that continually oppress you. And you keep buying into the game. You keep buying into the narrative. Oh, we're going to hold the line. We got to turn our state red again, or we got to turn this blue. Rah, rah, Democrats, rah, rah, Republicans. And that's not my message. My message is rah, rah, you, the people of the United States of America and New Mexico. And this is how we're going to do it. Okay, we first lock down the government, the federal government, and actually the government at all echelons. We're going to lock it down to the will of the people. And I'm telling you, this is my advice until we actually do. You should vote no on every single bill until the people actually have control of the government. All right? So next, we're going to consider, what do we do once we lock down the government? Well, here's what we're going to do, right? Once you get senators and House representatives in there who are truly representatives of their districts and their states, here's what we do. We're going to start proposing legislation, because all those rhinos and dinos, whatever you want to call them, all the rich and the oppressors, the rich oppressors that you continually vote for, they're going to be out. They're going to be a thing of the past. Say bye-bye. You can go back to running your business and making your millions of dollars. That's cool. But you're not going to be in government anymore. All right? And once we have that, then you, the good people of New Mexico, will actually have a seat on a committee. And you could begin repealing legislation and passing legislation. Okay? Via the Republic, of course. Via the hashtag #RepThePeople system. But how do you put forth legislation to be run through that system in the first place? Well, we're going to use the EmpowerthePeople system. And it's going to have a strong emphasis on local community. Because I'm telling you, when you keep trying to pass things through the federal level, what you're doing is you're being very tyrannical. You're trying to force all the other states to comply with what you in New Mexico want. And that is not the way forward. The way forward is realizing and understanding the power you have as a local community to realize your dreams. And other states, will have no say over it, because you're going to be focused on state legislation and local legislation. All right. Now, are there some things that we might want to do at the federal level? Sure. But again, you'll have to have agreement between the people of other districts and other states. If you don't have that, then, well, nothing we can do there. But I'm telling you, there is plenty we can do at the more local levels, at the state and local levels, okay? And let me explain this to you. The power of the federal Constitution, you know. And let me just explain the 10th Amendment to you. So, what does the federal Constitution let the states and people do? More than you may realize, really. If you don't know the Constitution, please take a read, okay? Please take a read. But I want to point you to the 10th Amendment of the federal Constitution, of the United States Constitution. It says, the powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively, or to the people. So the Constitution specifically delegates certain powers to the federal government. Okay? So those powers that are delegated to the federal government, right, and not prohibited by it, by that Constitution, to the states, those powers not delegated to the federal government, nor prohibited by the Constitution to the states, are reserved to the states respectively, or to the people. So, understand this, that if a power is specifically delegated to the federal government, and by the way, those powers are not that many. All those other powers, right? And those other powers that are not prohibited to government in general, because the states have to be subject to the Constitution also, right? I mean, the states can't just take your guns away. I mean, they can't do it because they're under the federal Constitution. But they can do a lot of other things that's not prohibited by the Constitution, right? And they're reserved to the states or to the people. You are not good people. There is so much freedom under the Constitution to do whatever you feel you need to do. All right, at the state level and at the local level, to improve your community. Right? There's plenty to do. And at these town halls, we're going to be discussing these things. There's going to be people there who know the Constitution. And there will be people there who may not understand the Constitution, but they have hopes and dreams and things they want to see happen. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring these people together and we're going to discuss these things. And we're going to brainstorm together and find a way to realize our dreams within the bounds of the federal Constitution and our state Constitution. Okay? So, just a brief outline, okay, of what these, how these Empower the People system, how this Empower the People system will work. So, how will we begin to propose or repeal existing legislation? All right. How does this work? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold feasts, and I will provide bread and wine. And it's going to be a twofold thing. One is going to be a community service to serve the poorest of our communities. Because these are going to be the people that vote me in. You know why? Because there are more of them than there are well-to-do, comfortable, rich people. And what we will call these feasts is the United Citizens Think Tank. All right? It's basically going to be all of you in the community, the poor of you, and those who want to serve the poor will be there, and those who want to have a say in what legislation we need to propose will also be there. And what we're going to do is we're just going to eat together, and people can bring food, to feed the community. It'll be beautiful. We're going to sit down, we're going to eat together, we're going to chat, and we're going to discuss what we can do to make our communities a better place for all of us. All right? And these town halls or think tanks, right? They will be the epicenters for community service. People who have charitable organizations and missions out there, you know, who are doing what they can to improve their communities. They all have special agendas, you know, but they can come and present their services, you know, to the people. All right. And they can also work in conjunction with me to help serve the people and and do their charity there. And how do I know that they will come? Well, we got bread and wine. Free bread and wine at my expense. Or at the federal government's expense. I don't know. I don't know what the limitations are on the SOPOEA exactly on how we can use those funds. But if necessary, I will take up collections and I will also contribute my own wealth to doing this because this is that important. All right. So what will we do? We'll educate each other, you know, in open and honest discourse. I'll be your moderator, and my council, the council of the top four losing candidates in this race, they will have a spot on the council if they decide to take it. If not, I'll find other people to replace them. It's okay. All we need is different perspectives. But they will also help guide us in our discussion, okay? Now, we'll have to start by taking it slow. We can't change everything at once. But, trust me, you will be a powerful force. You already are. If you guys would stop doing the same thing over and over, if you would actually think outside the box a little bit and change your ways and vote for an independent who is promising you to really represent you and nobody else, yeah, you're gonna be a real powerful force. Okay? Now we take it slow, all right? We're only gonna try to focus on whittling it all down to one important issue. But, you know, we'll take thoughts from the people and they will present what they think is the most important issue. It could be the federal debt, the welfare system, social justice, healthcare, whatever you guys think is the most important thing to you, you'll present those. And then what we'll do is we'll whittle it down to one by a ranked choice voting system. Okay? We're going to whittle it down to one issue because under one general issue, there's so much legislation, there's so much existing law that we have to consider. Okay? So once we can whittle it down to one issue, here's what we're going to do then. We're going to just brainstorm together on what we can and should do. All right? Just because something's lawful to do doesn't mean it's right or doesn't mean it's a good idea. But we're going to have people with countering opinions and advice. And, you know, one of the rules will be if you have any criticism, you're not just going to say, oh, we can't do that. No, you're going to offer an alternative. If you don't have an alternative, we don't need to hear from you. Okay? Because you have limited yourself and you've limited the American people when you do that. We're not going to limit ourselves. We're going to believe together that anything is possible because we're going to come together and we're going to work together. Okay? And we're going to brainstorm. What are we going to do? Let's come up with ideas. What laws do we need to pass? Or I would like to focus personally on what laws we could repeal to open the doors for you, the average person who is really hungry for change, who is oppressed and know that the system is rigged against you, right? And we're going to talk about all this, and then we're going to come up with ideas. And then once we come up with those ideas, maybe at the next town hall meeting, Or maybe this will all be done in the first round. Okay? We will come up with ideas and I'll post it on my website. And all residents of New Mexico, I would say at least 18 years and older, will be able to input what they think via a ranked choice voting system. Now, it's not registered voters, but the registered voters will always have, it will only be the registered voters who will participate in the Rep the People system. So once we determine the way forward together, the residents, and we decide on what needs to be proposed first, that bill will come before the registered voters of New Mexico, and they will determine whether I vote yay or nay, as well as the other states and the other congressional representatives. They will also consider it, and they will vote yay or nay. Okay? So don't worry. It's not like I'm giving complete control over all lawmaking to, just a majority of poor people. No, but I'm giving them the power to think together and to propose the best ideas together. And I believe once we do this, we will arrive at the best ideas. And you guys won't be voting to arm parties anymore. You won't be voting to arm personalities. You'll be voting to arm the best ideas that we can come up with. And my hope and my vision is that this will happen all across the country. And I would say you'll probably be quite surprised as what the American people can come up with. Far better. Far better than any self-anointed messiah politician out there who think that they have the best ideas and are not humble enough to recognize that they themselves don't know jack. They need to ask the people. Because, you know what? 1,000 minds are better than one. 1,000,000 minds are better than 1,000. Okay? We just need to work together. We just need to stop being afraid of each other. We need to come together and talk. All right. So that's the vision of the Empower the People system, okay? And this is what it's going to do. It's going to divide. You know why? Because you have two types of people out there. You have the rich oppressors, and then you have the poor and the oppressed. Okay? And unfortunately, the poor and the oppressed keep buying the lies of the rich oppressors, and they keep voting for them. Well, the Empower the People system, you know what that's going to do? That's going to separate those who are truly hungry from those who are happy and content with the way things are now. I'll tell you this. I had a lady. She commented on my last town hall meeting when I was talking about the Empower the People system and all the things that are possible. Oh, the things you're talking about are terrifying me. Well, exactly. You know why they're terrifying you? Because no matter how much you may complain online, you're not willing to lift one finger to change anything. You, ma'am, are a hypocrite. You're not hungry. You know, a lot of you guys, I see you. You complain all the time. But are you willing to do anything about it? No, you're not. And I know this. I present to you plans, and you know what? It's not just this campaign, people. I put out plans to actually do things about things that people are complaining about. And you know what kind of response I get? None. Maybe like a handful of people that really care. They'll respond. But the rest of you, I know that politics is really just like watching a football game for you. You know, the Republicans or Democrats winning to you is just like your favorite football team winning a football game. But ultimately, when it comes down to it, you are not willing to take any responsibility. Because you know why? As long as you have food and clothes, and as long as people leave you alone for the most part, as long as you can still have your iPad and your movies, and you could go out and eat at a restaurant, you don't care. And I'm not looking for you. You can go ahead and vote for your Democrat candidate or your Republican candidate. Go ahead and do that. But I'm telling you, you're going to lose. Because I'm going to get those people who are really hungry. And you know, those who don't realize they're hungry yet, they're going to know. Because I'm going to inspire them with a vision of all the things that we can do once we take control over our government again. You either get on board or you're going to be left out in the cold. It's your choice. So, the Empower the People system, that's what it's going to do. It's going to sever the really hungry and the really oppressed and the ones who have vision for real change from those who just talk a good game and don't mean anything that they're saying. Okay? The rich oppressors, the loudest voice of your parties. You're going to leave them. And you're going to come to something that's real. I'm real. Okay? I'm not lying to you. I'm real. I mean what I say. And I'm going to do exactly what I'm telling you I'm going to do. Believe it or not, but you're going to see. All right. But then, after this division happens, is the union, right? The true Americans who are going to lead this nation forward to the realization of the dream of our republic and our Constitution. All right? We're going to unite. And we're going to fellowship together. We're going to commune together. And we're going to come up with the best laws possible. And it won't just be laws. You know, laws are only a little tiny part of the solution. Laws are supposed to supplement what you guys do together as a community. That's the purpose of laws. The purpose of laws is not to make the government do everything for you. No, you have to work together. And we can do it. We can do it. And if you need a little help, we can get help. Okay? But ultimately, people, you have to take some responsibility for your community. You have to. If you don't, it's just going to get worse. Believe it. It's just going to get worse. All right. So now once this happens, right? What is the vision? Look at this vision. Here's what's going to happen. Those rich oppressors who are left out in the cold, you know what they're going to realize? Oh, crap. The poor and the oppressed, whom we've been treading on all this time, they are now making the laws. So what are they going to do? They're going to start lobbying the poor and the oppressed. They're going to try to win you over, and you know how they're going to do that? With their money. That's right. You're going to see charities and trade schools and community service pop up like you've never seen before by these very same people who are oppressing you right now. They're not going to have any other choice because they're not going to have control over the laws. As long as you stop watching the news, stop getting brainwashed, and pay attention to the most important news of the day, which is what's going on in your local community. And you're going to find these things out at where? At these town halls, at these parties, at these feasts that we're going to have. And we're going to dream together, and we're going to plan together, and we're going to scheme together. And you're going to see our nation launched into a golden age, people, like you've never seen, like you've never thought possible. And for those of you who are too afraid, go on. As I said, I don't need you, because I'm going to win the poor and the oppressed. There are much more of them than there are of you, so go your way. I don't need you. I don't need your vote. But I'm telling you, my whole campaign going forward is just going to be throwing these parties, throwing these feasts for the poor and the oppressed. And they're going to love me. Why? Because I'm here to serve them and empower them. And they will vote me in. Like it or not. It's going down. And you cannot stop it. And all of you will be exposed for your hypocrisy. And I know you're going to try to resist. You're going to get mad at me. But I know you'll come around. And when that happens, good people, anything is possible. All right? So just to summarize again, I'm going to be throwing these United Citizens think tanks. I'm going to be providing you bread and wine to a certain limit, of course. We don't want to get drunk, right? But we need to loosen up and start talking to each other and get to know each other, right? We're going to hear what the concerns are of the poorest of us and the most oppressed of us. What are your concerns? We're going to vote on the most important concern first, and we're going to start working on that issue first. And we're going to, in the next round of town hall meetings, and we're all going to do this by ranked choice, by the way, so it can be fast and efficient. And this is what I'm going to be doing every time I'm not in Congress and while I'm campaigning. While I'm in New Mexico, this is exactly what I'm going to be doing. Just this. You won't see advertising everywhere for my campaign, okay? All my money is going to be devoted just to this one thing. And we're going to feed the poor together. We're going to minister to the poor together. We're going to come down and make the decision. We're going to come down to one issue that is the most important issue to people today. Then we're going to start brainstorming together, coming up with ideas, all right, within the bounds of the law, existing law, and what laws can be repealed and what laws should be repealed. And we're going to come up with the best ideas. And you people are going to vote via ranked choice voting on the best idea. And we're going to draft up legislation. And we're going to propose it. And then it's going to get filtered through the People System, where only the registered voters, one day, of every district in this nation and every state in this nation, they will vote yay or nay on whether that idea that New Mexico came up with, or, whatever other locality came up with, whether they agree with it or not. Or maybe they might have a better idea. Who knows? But I'm telling you, we're also going to focus on what we can do at the local level and at the state level, because things can be done much more quickly that way. And I'm telling you, you guys are going to be all of you. New Mexico is going to be number one in the nation for wealth and education, because at these town hall meetings, people, you're going to learn how to think. You're going to learn how to think for yourselves. You're going to learn critical thinking skills. You're going to have a better education. Bring your children, okay? So they can see how this is done. You're going to have a better education than anybody who went through school and got their college degree, fancy schmancy stuff. You are going to have the power of your mind back. And once that happens, yeah, just grab your popcorn, people, and enjoy the show. That's all I got to say. But anyway, this is the Empower the People system that will work in conjunction with the Rep the People system. So, this is your servant for the Republic's sake, Jerry Rose, signing off. God bless America. God bless New Mexico. God bless you.